Hey everyone, Em's the vegan. Today is pizza day, which is kind of almost like every day in my house. But today is special because it is part of the vegan stuffed crust pizza challenge. That's right. Hashtag vegan stuffed crust pizza challenge. A friend of mine, Courtney Grant, who is another vegan cook, you should check him out. The link will be down below as well. He was saying pizza is so complicated because you have to make it rise, you have to wait a lot. And I was like, no you don't. Pizza's easy and it can be quick. So learning how to make pizza dough is a great skill. You can turn it into a bunch of other things: dinner rolls, pides, calzone. There are other things. To start, I like to use doppio zero flour, which is basically 00 flour. It's actually a denser flour, perfect for pizza. You want your sea salt. Now I'm using Celtic sea salt. It's really big granules, so I usually put it through the grinder just to make it a bit smaller, but the flavor that comes out of that is amazing. And you've got your sachet of yeast. Now this is a little cheat, if you will. You don't have to measure. Yay! Just throw it in there. And then you need some olive oil. Obviously we'll add water, and that's how we're gonna make our dough, and there's a secret ingredient coming up. Okay, so pizza dough isn't hard. I know I've got everything set out right now. Normally I just like grab a bit of this out of the cupboard, grab a little bit of that, and throw it in there. But we're trying to be a little prepared today so you can see what's going on. Rip that bad boy open. Okay. Just gonna throw that there. Works for me. Generous amount of salt. So we're just going to throw some water in there. I don't know, it's probably like a half a cup. Go with the flow. Here's where I'm about to pull out a little secret ingredient, and this is what makes dough quick. Courtney, are you watching? This may save you, my love. Yeah, that's beer. Beer in dough? Gross, it'll taste like beer. No, it doesn't. Once you cook it, it tastes fantastic. So let's just go ahead and throw some beer in there. Probably about the same amount that you did with the water. So the yeastiness and the carbonation in the beer actually helps the dough rise, and really fast. So it's kind of like putting an accelerant in your dough. Just grab a fork, give it a little whiskeroo. At this point I like to add a little olive oil to the mixture. I'm going to go in with our flour. So eyeballing that's so far probably like a cup and a half. We're going to have to obviously add more. And this mixture that I'm doing up really should be enough for 2 pizzas. So far, right now, it has already got some sponginess, it's got some give and bounce. You wouldn't have had that already if you had just done water. Okay, more flour. Probably another half cup there. So just fold that over, collect more flour as you go around. If I was about to assemble this pizza, I would do it right now. And that's it. I wouldn't wait for it to rise or anything like that. Okay, so now I can tell you what my stuffed crust pizza element is going to be. It's going to be cheesy pesto. So pesto is a fave. It usually has pecorino and Parmesan cheese in it. We're going to do a vegan take on that. So all you need to do is you're going to start by... I just have this little processor because I'm only making a little amount, and it just takes up so much less space in my cupboard. So go with your salt, get in there with some pepper. And you're going to throw in your cashews. So I've got about just shy of a third of a cup in there, maybe a quarter of a cup. I'm going to go in with some nutritional yeast. This sort of substitutes the Parmesan flavour, the cheesy flavour right there. About a tablespoon. And I'm going to go in with our garlics. This is where you get the flavour punch. I love garlic. Literally, I think dessert's one of the only things I don't put garlic in, obviously. That'd be weird. 4 decent sized cloves. Next is our basil, or basil as Americans say. Try and pick the leaves off. If you go with the really stalky, like if you include these bits too much, you'll end up with stringy bits in your pesto. It's really gross. Okay. So that is our, just destroyed that plant. Now, the final ingredient is olive oil. I'm probably going to do 2 tablespoons. Okay, pesto is done. But it is time to roll out our crust and get assembling. Gonna add some more flour on top. like to do the tuck and roll, which is basically this. See how much it puts the air bubbles in? This just creates a bit more elasticity. It activates the gluten when you knead this much, and that's why they say knead for so long. This is when you need your rolling pin. So this is a proper rolling pin. Courtney, my love, we need to get you one of these. If you guys checked out Courtney's video, he went the cup route. Now here's a tip. If you do not have a rolling pin, you need something heavy, cylindrical to do this. So, I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed to have one of these in the house, right? Wine bottles. They're not as long as a rolling pin, but man, they're helpful. Or, if you've got a really big pizza, you might need a slightly bigger wine bottle. Back to my regular rolling pin, because I have it, so I'm gonna use it. And you wanna just kind of go out side by side, just let that stretch. See how it kind of springs back a little? I have this pizza tray that came with my air fryer. I don't know what they made it out of. It's amazing. So I have the Breville air fryer. I'll put a link to that model as well because it's so good. It's changed my life. It makes the best pizzas. It makes really good cake. Put some oil on your pan. This helps create some of that crunchy base. It's so delicious. We're just gonna put a little scoop of that around the edges. Oh, I made a mess. So we've done our like ring of pesto. These are the Dia Provolone. So just gonna put some cheese around the edges. Now you're just gonna roll that over and press it. Do little sections so that you don't end up with gaps. So you wanna put a little olive oil on. If you're scared of olive oil, you might want to adjust all of your recipes because I clearly am not. So you want to get some of this olive oil brushed along the edges too, so they get nice and brown. This is when you sprinkle the nutritional yeast. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm going to go in some oregano, pepper, a little salt. We're going to drizzle on some balsamic. This gives like a caramelly kind of flavor when it's cooked. This is the main kind of meatiness of this dish, the artichokes. So when artichokes are cooked on a pizza, they almost mimic like a chicken. The final piece that goes on top of here is your rosemary. So you want to just take off the leaves. You just kind of go down the stem like that, pull them all off, and then just grab those soft ones at the top. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle some of that right on top of here. So we're going in at 480 for around about 13 minutes. Oh my god, look at that. That's a stuffed crust pizza. Look at that. Oh, we made it. And it was easy. And it was simple. Oh my god, it's cooked so well underneath. Okay, crust time. Oh. I hope you liked it. I hope you try it. But more importantly, hashtag vegan stuffed crust pizza challenge. Thanks for watching.